Do you want to know how to edit like this? Well, make sure you watch the whole video. Hey everyone, my name is Alduck. For a very long time now, everyone's been asking me to do a tutorial on how I edit my videos. So today I'm bringing you with my second editing tutorial, except this time it's going to be very in depth, and before I literally just showed you how to get Galaxy editors, which is pretty outdated now, and I'm literally going to be showing you everything I do from scratch. I'm hoping not to make this too long, and I'm hoping to pack it with information, so make sure you listen carefully. And yeah, we're going to be starting from scratch, literally just our basic clip and a song. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so first here is a song and here's a clip, so we can see the frequencies. Oh, I literally already have the clip synced. I didn't mean to do that, that was just luck. But as you can see, here is our beat drop, and I'm just gonna drag the clip right now onto exactly where I shoot on the beat, right there. And I'm gonna play the clip through so you can see what I'm working with. So it's quite a cool clip. And what I always do first is judge where I want the cinematics to be. So let me just listen back. Right there I'm gonna add a marker, hit M to add a marker by the way. And on this hi-hat you can see that this is a hi-hat. So what I'm gonna do is I need to restart Vegas, 1 second. Alright, we're back now. Some weird thing happened there. And okay, so we got the cinematic bits marked out where we're gonna want to add our cinematics. We got the clip. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna split the clip over here by clicking S, and we're gonna drag it until it hits this point over here. Now first things first, we got this. We're not gonna add cinematics yet, even though most people like sort of get really excited and jump to the cinematic part. And what we're gonna do now is add velocity first. So again, I want to find the points on the timeline where I want to add velocity by listening through the clip. So I hit M on both these points where I want velocity. So what I'm going to do is select 3 points by double clicking on the green line and drag this up by quite a bit and drag this down to 45%. And now I'm going to do the same on this point over here until I get to the point where it's sort of synced. That's a great place to sort of stop the yeah, that's the perfect place to stop the clip, and you can see now, look. And we're also going to add velocity onto this clip over here, selecting a point over here, and we're not going to do fast fade, sorry, I don't know why I did that. I want that 220 number to still show because it's quite, that was too fast. And that's straight up perfect. Okay, so now we got this. Now what we can do is add some color correction. Now I love to use magic bullet looks. I don't know about you guys, but this is probably my look. I've got so many presets over here that I can be using, but I'm gonna obviously just drag this one on because I'm not gonna show you guys which color corrector I use because I got loads, and also I don't want you all to be making videos exactly the same. Obviously I want them to be amazing, so I'm gonna show you as many cool tips as possible. But yeah, so this is the color correction I usually use, and I always add also some saturation with all the saturation I can. And on the velocity, I usually get rid of this magic bullet looks over here. and I usually add a different color correction onto it too. Actually, on this time I can actually afford just, you know, sticking with the same one because I'm only doing it for a bit. Now first things first, I'm gonna add some shake and onto the normal clip, and I'm gonna show you all my shake settings and you can all copy it if you want. So here we go. I'm just gonna drag on this one, which is my default go-to shake, and yeah, here are the settings. I'm gonna pause it if you need to. Yeah, these are my shake settings, and you can see that yeah, it's quite smooth, the shake. It is quite a lot of amplitude though, to be honest, but to be honest, it looks quite nice. In my opinion, I like it when the edges reflect a bit. It feels like it gives it a bit of depth. But here, what I'm going to do now, so this, I'm not going to add any more effects to this clip because I don't want you suddenly over editing your vids. So we're going to leave this clip. Obviously, we're going to add more stuff to it when it comes to the end. But to this part of the clip over here, right now, at this point, we're going to leave it how it is. And on this part of the clip, we're going to start to add more. So first, what I'm going to do, since we're already on shake, is add shake onto this, but except we're gonna increase the amplitude, decrease the frequency, and click that little clock. Then you go into the amplitude and you make a keyframe around halfway through, drag it down to 0. We're not going to do any sort of fades on this one. It's not really a cinematic transition, so we don't need to, but and we're also going to increase the Y shake a tiny bit. So we're going to double it actually and make it 1. Now for a velocity bump, that kind of that's satisfying for me, so I'm going to leave it as that. In fact, I might decrease the amplitude a tiny bit. Yeah, that looks good. Even just 1 amplitude, 0.1 amplitude will look great. And now what I'm going to do is add Gaussian blur over here. I'm going to light blur and click both of these. I'm going to curves, scroll down, horizontal range, we're going to decrease this down to 0 over here. Don't move the cursor because we're going to do the same with the vertical range. Remember, always click this button to add a keyframe. And yeah, that looks great. So now what I'm going to do is add a Sapphire plugin glow. And I'm going to make this just white color, yeah. And 2 is usually satisfactory for that, but this time we're going to make this a fast fade since glow is quite an eye heavy plugin. It's quite heavy in the eyes. That looks quite nice. So what we can do now, once you're satisfied with that pump, you can go into the other velocity clip and do selectively paste event attributes and click effect and effect keyframes. That looks great. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is do the kill effects before anything else. So I usually have my own sort of kill effect which I do, which comes along with the transition, and I usually use that for everything. But in this case, I'm not gonna use that since it's a tutorial, and I'm gonna do it from scratch. It's not gonna be the exact same kill effect, but it's gonna be similar, so you all can have a little play around with that. And what we're gonna do first is, oh, we're already on it, glow. I always like to add pink glow. I don't know why, but it vibes so well with the video, and I usually like to animate this so it's a fast fade down from 5, the max, down to 0. So that, okay, it doesn't look like much right now, but you will see very soon that it's gonna do quite well. So now we're gonna do blow mo curves and drag that on and click animate on the Z distance. This is what I like to do, and I'm gonna click a keyframe over here and drag it all the way down and do fast fade. So it's sort of like a cross. That's too fast. That's too fast. So I'm gonna. Yeah, we can actually decrease this velocity down to. That looks great. Oh, we actually forgot to add our magic bullet looks onto this, so I forgot to add color correction, which is bad. So here we go, magic bullet looks. Don't forget to save. I don't know if you can tell, but I have such a bad habit, actually a great habit, of spam clicking Control S, because you might see the mouse cursor always do this. Everybody, but I might add oh yeah, I'm actually gonna add markers for after the clip too, where we're gonna add cinematics. So and then that's where I'm gonna stop the clip for the tutorial over here. Alright, so now we got the basis, and you might be thinking, oh wait, actually no, we don't have the basis. What am I on about? We need to add shake and stuff to this too. So just grab the same shake that you added on before. I'm just gonna, you know, slap on my usual set shake, but you should all have that one too. Perfect. Okay, now you might be thinking, Alduck, what do I do from here? Cinematics, right? That's what we're missing. We're not gonna add sound effects yet, by the way, boys. We are gonna add them over at the end, but not just yet. Alright, so now we're in Fortnite, and what we're going to do is, you can already see we're on competitive graphics right now, you know, the classic all low, but we're going to change that, and we're going to make it so that the shadows are on epic, anti-aliasing on epic, effects and post-processing are also both on epic, or even high. You see, since I'm recording, I'm going to make it high. And the reason I do anti-aliasing is because I'm on 1600 by 900, so the edges are very pixelized, and it's nicer to have edges which aren't. And always turn show FPS off, because I know a few editors that have it as on, and it's disgusting when you're recording cinematics. It's fine in game, but in cinematics, hell no. So what we're going to do now is just click play in this replay file. While it's loading us in, what I'm going to do is hop back into here and go to this marker and click this one arrow to skip a frame back, one frame back. And I got this clip on the first kill of the game. And what I can do now is go into gameplay and pause it once I hit the kill. So I'm going to slow it down just so I don't miss out on anything. Okay, now this is a point where we can go back onto this clip and look at exact positioning. So my legs are a bit bent and I've got the pump half pulled out, so I need to look for that. I need to hold that image in my mind, and oh, it's an annoying glitch actually, this happens. Right there, the cape's gonna be glitched since I'm wearing a cape. In fact, I really should not have done that. And now we're in drone free gameplay right now, but what we're gonna do is go into drone attach. And in fact, usually it just makes it so that it's perfect. Let me see. No, it's not this time. I was a bit unlucky. So let me see if it's good this time around. You can always like switch around. Oh, almost. Oh, it's being a bit annoying this time. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so we got that done, and the camera movement feels alright. It doesn't feel too fast. If it does, slow it down, honestly. And you don't have to do this part, but I'm gonna go on a controller. You can't do it on keyboard and mouse. I'm new to doing cinematics on controller. They just look a lot smoother. I used to do them on KBM too, so it's no big deal. And what I'm gonna do is pan really slowly around this cinematics. That was better, so I'm gonna clip that now. Alt G on my software to clip that and exit out of Fortnite. And now what we can do is open up that clip. Videos, Fortnite. It was the most recent one. There we go. And here we go. I'm gonna unlink the audio. I always do this before I do a clip. That is where we start to move, and I'm gonna make that 4 times the speed. I'm gonna do control drag, and you can drag it and change the speed. Okay, I'm gonna slide this clip in here now, and what I'm gonna do now is, we got this, so I'm gonna do insert, remove envelope, and I always like to do velocity first, always. And I'm gonna increase this a bunch, like maybe this much. Always make it fast fade too, and I'm gonna make this 16%. It won't hurt our frame rate since we've made it 4 times the speed, so 16% velocity is good. Usually the rulers don't go below 50% unless you're recording very high FPS, but in this case we already increased the clip's speed. So here, okay, that is actually very smooth. So what we're going to do now, copy and paste that clip. In fact, you know what, scrap the second bit. We're going back into the cinematics now, and this song would look better if it panned out once and then did a first person cinematic. We have not finished editing the cinematics yet, so I'm just gonna quickly go into replay mode again and show you how to get a first person cinematic. Okay, that's where I pull out my pickaxe. I pause it at the exact right moment. Gonna go into drone attach, go down onto our character. Let me actually go slower, and increase the FOV by scrolling out. I don't know how you do that on controller. Perfect point right here. We're gonna go like into his face, literally, like that. Perfect. I'm gonna stop it there. Alright, so we can unlink again. Perfect point again where I got the clip. Drag that so it's 400%, you know, control drag. And then here you go. And over here we need to add velocity again. So I'm going to make it so that it sort of fast fades in. That's too fast. Alright, cool. So now we got the basis of the two cinematics down. Now what we're going to do is add the same color correction that we did before. Haze, my haze color correction, that's what I call it. This one, because it adds a little bit of a haze, and I also add saturation onto that. Where's my saturation at? There we go. And now what we're going to do is transitions. Okay, so transitions now. So first of all, what we're going to do on this clip is add s_blow curves, and if we can find that, you know, sapphire blow curves, and wherever that is, where is that? Right here. Drag that onto this clip over here. Oh no, I mean drag it onto this clip first, the clip before you get the cinematic, and as you can see, our cinematic pans to the left. So what we're going to do is go into blow curves, click reflect on both the wrap X and the Y, and then click on shift X since we're going to rotate it on the X axis, and click curves, scroll down and click blow curves again, and add a keyframe around here and here. Now on the timeline, sort of go one frame before you get the cinematic right there. And we're going to make this so that it pans left, just like that. We're going to drag it down and turn this into a slow fade and see how that looks. Oh, it actually goes the other way. I'm dumb. So we have to move it upwards. So I'm going to do around 1.5. I think that's the closest we're going to get. Okay, so that's the basis of the first transition, but now what we're going to do is add my little classic. I'm going to add a bit of a glow, so grab s_glow again, but this time I'm going to change the color to a pink, since I really love doing pink glows, and click curves. Let me just drag this down so I can see better. Click brightness and add a keyframe here, drag all this down to 0. Ooh. And then add another keyframe over here and drag this up to maybe 3.5, yeah. Alright, and click slow fade. And yeah, alright, cool. So now we're gonna add a matching transition on this clip over here. So since we're already on glow, I'm just gonna add this and make this pink again. Doesn't have to be too accurate, and I'm actually gonna set this to 3.5 right now and click animate again. So as you can tell, there is a lot of keyframing involved in this process, but it's fine. And click fast fade this time. when it's on this half of the clip, click fast fade. When it's on this half of the clip, always do slow fade, because this bit it fades in first and it slowly fades out. Alright, let's see it. Alright, those glows are matching, but now we're going to add matching blow mode curves. So we're going to drag this blow mode curves on, and I'm quickly going to double check the value that I set before on this one. So what was it? Shift X. It was, oh shit, 0.15, yeah. And so we can do the same here. We're going to go into blow mode curves and click reflect on both X and Y, and then click the animate on Shift X and go over here. And since we dragged it up last time, we're going to drag it down -1.5, because last time it was look, you can see that the Shift X goes up, so this time we're going to have to drag it down, and you'll see why. It'll make a perfect Alright, that is a perfect transition. So now what we're going to do on this part is it goes into the first person cinematic. So what I'm going to do is go into blow mode curves again, and actually first go into the brightness and set this back up to 3.5, but make this a slow fade of course. And we're going to go into the blow mode curves up here, click animate on the Z distance, since we're moving in to the sort of transition, we're moving inwards, and since we're moving inwards you're going to make a keyframe there and here, drag this down because it's going to zoom in, and click slow fade. Let me see how this looks. Awesome. Alright, so now we're going to do the same here, but except the opposite again. So we're going to click Z distance, and we're going to make it so that it goes upwards and fades in fast. And let me just see how that looks. And we can make that a bit faster actually. And we're going to add glow into that too. S_glow. 3.5 we do it at, and make it pink again, and click animate on that, and fast fade it down. And we're going to get ready to do the next transition actually early, so we're going to go over here, and we know that we get the kill right afterwards, so we can just you just delete that keyframe. We can just do this transition, but let's just see how this looks. That looks great. And what I think I'm going to do first is actually zoom it inwards. Actually no, I'm going to zoom it outwards. So to zoom it outwards, we're going to just am I even on the right clip? Yeah, I am. Alright. To zoom it outwards, we're just going to go back upwards here this way and make it a slow fade. I feel like we can add a bit more of an effect over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into secondary color corrector and add a slight, whoa, that's a little, that looks like my old videos, Jesus Christ. We can add a slight rotate hue, maybe fade it off around here, fast fade it on rotate hue, and let me see. Nah, no, that looks terrible. Maybe increase the shake. This, it feels like there's something missing. So everybody rock. think that looks fine actually now. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add pan crop settings onto this. So we're gonna click pan crop, and then we're gonna uncheck this and drag the top bit down a bit, and let me actually go into the clip and drag the bottom bit down a bit more maybe. Yeah, that looks good. And this will fade it in. And what you can do is click Control C on that clip and click select repaste and video pan crop settings, and go back into the pan crop settings and move this over here. And if I pre-render this so you all can see it smooth real quick, you'll see that it's made a big difference. In fact, I think I can make this transition a bit longer, so I'm gonna yeah, that looks perfect. Okay, so now we got our basics down. So now what we can do is start to add sound effects, and first we're gonna add bass swooshes. And with bass swooshes, what I love to do is I always increase the amplitude to 12 and decrease the sound of the bass swoosh. Now we're adding this onto the velocity first because it amplifies the velocity source. Okay, perfect. And now we're going to add one over here. And with this one, we're going to add some knife sound effects. So I'm going to go into editing assets and do drawn sound effects. These are my sound effects, and I always go with the first one actually. And I'm going to just slap that in here. Oh, I forgot it's the maximum. I'm going to make a new track for that. Okay, and now I'm going to add my legendary pump sound effect. And for some reason I need to cut it there all the time. You do that on any layer too, and add another bass swoosh but above it. And in fact I always put the pump one above for some reason. I just find it easy to see. Let's see how that looks now. Alright, perfect. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna actually increase this by a bit, so since it's only one clip, and over here, on this clip over here, I'm gonna add RSMB, and you all can copy my RSMB settings since they're peng, and they're quite similar to Milliam's actually, so I renamed it Milliam RSMB. Don't even ask me why. Yeah, these are my settings for RSMB. Feel free to use them. They're very good. They're quite heavy RSMB settings, but they're nice. And I add it onto this kill, and I'm also gonna add it onto the velocity too. And yeah, so now I'm gonna do a render and show you what the final thing looks like. So yeah, I really hope this was helpful. Sorry it was quite long. It takes me a long time to edit, as you can probably tell, and it was quite an in-depth tutorial. If you did get something out of it, please don't forget to drop a like and a sub if you're new. And yeah, and I'm really excited to see what you guys produce out of this tutorial.